Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Vault, and I'm your host, James. Today we're doing something a little different. It's not about the news today. We're not doing that at all. We are going to do a hack, actually, but a mod, I should say. I'm not hacking, I'm modding, right? So we're going to work with the PlayStation TV. Now, this little thing right here, when it was released, I believe it was released October 14, 2014, and it was kind of a good reception it got. It sold a lot when it came down. I think the total sales were over in the thousands. I have it in front of me, guys. I'm trying to read it so you guys understand. It had 1 gig memory on it, internal memory, 512 RAM on the device, so it's kind of like a Raspberry Pi, and 128 video RAM, so 128 gigs of video, which is not so bad for this little device. So what happened? All right, so it sold really well. It sold both in Japan and both in the United States, but there was a problem. Let's start with the first one. I hope Sony watches my videos, even though I'm a small YouTuber. I really hope you do watch this, because I want you to pay attention. This thing right here was great. You guys gave us a fantastic product. This was just wonderful. Now, you want to know why it failed? It didn't fail. It dropped. You had it at a price of $100, and by the end of, let's say, 2014, which wasn't, but no, not 2004, 2016, you dropped it about 40%, so $59.95, and the sales did increase when it got to $60. It did increase. There's a reason why for that. I'll explain that in a minute, guys. One of the major reasons why Vita failed was the SD cards. I shouldn't say lack of. They had their own memory cards. They had 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Doesn't seem too bad, right? Wrong. What happened was they were proprietary to Sony, and Sony wanted to make money. So their pricing, even to this day, even though the Vita isn't sold really widely, they're very expensive. It's still expensive right now. So why did the sales increase towards the end of 2016? Well, Sony, little by little, introduced different software updates. One of the ones that were major was the PlayStation Now for the TV portion of their service. Hulu, Netflix, you can get them on there as well through the PlayStation Store. But the major thing was streaming. So if you had a PS4, and then you had the PS TV, you were able to stream them both together, which allows you to have the same power from your PS4, and you could play it on almost anywhere you went, as long as it had internet connection. So, within your household. There's a choice. So I couldn't take this to my brother's house in Kentucky and decide to play the game at his house because the system wasn't in the same household as the Wi-Fi. So that's another reason why this was good, but not good. The titles on it, though, were phenomenal. We had Gravity Rush. We got, what else? We got Gravity Rush. We had Danganronpa series. We had Golden Abyss, I believe. I forgot the name of it. Golden Abyss. Either or. We had so many titles, guys, but it didn't pick up well. And why? Because the memory cards were so expensive. I think a cheap memory card, 18 gig, went between $30 to $40 for an 18 gigabyte. That's a lot. So today, nevertheless, Sony, you need to learn your lessons. They ended the PlayStation Television in February 26th of 2016. They ended the production or shipped out productions for the PlayStation TV on there. The latest software or firmware ended at 3.65. But to do this mod, guys, we cannot be at 3.65. Luckily enough, I bought this again for like $30 on eBay, and came as the software version was 3.55. So I already preloaded 3.60 because that's as high as I want to get without messing up the mod. That's why. Sony does not allow you to downgrade. Not to say that you can't downgrade your PlayStation television or your Vita. So this mod that I'm going to show you all right now, you could still do it on both consoles, and you can downgrade them as well. I'm not going to do that here because I don't really need to do that. So why am I doing this? Two reasons. One is I have 38 PlayStation Vita games. I have a lot of Vita games. With this mod, it allows me to have them run off the Vita without taking the game out and constantly taking out the cartridges, wearing out the cartridge port. Remember, these things are, I'm not saying rare, because you can still get them between $40 and $80, but they're not easy to get. And they're still microcomputers, kind of like the Raspberry Pi. They're just not that durable. I already had one in the past burn out on me. So they're not that durable as a console. So I want to be able to save my console. Now, I want to make some observations for you guys real quick before we get into the mod. The first one is Nintendo was not the first to come up with the cartridge-based games. The Vita came out with the cartridge-based games first. They were little cartridges, same as anything else, and they had it first. It wasn't widely spread out in the United States. It didn't take off. And they had great IPs. I just don't understand why it didn't take off. Well, that's another story. Sorry, Reggie. Nintendo wasn't first. Don't give me that look. Maybe next time. Anyway, the next thing is we're going to mod the Vita. I'm going to show you how that looks. Now, I'm going to do some disclaimers first. The first thing I want to show you is right here, I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to have to look at the monitor to make sure I have my hand in the right spot. Right here, I'm going to give you guys the whole list of your system requirements. Follow this list restrictively, because if you brick your TV or your Vita, I'm not responsible for it. Please follow it precisely. If you don't have it this way, I'm sorry, you're out of luck. But at least listen to what I tell you, because if you try doing it anyway, you're going to mess yourself up. That's one. Two, I have a podcast. I do a lot of podcasts with friends of mine called Transatlantic Retro. It's Benny Williams from the Hermit's Hideaway, RetroTech 100s, Kieran Bowes, and Forrest, aka Easy Hacks. I'm glad I brought him up, because while I was doing a podcast or pre-podcast, he was telling me that he loved his Vita. And he goes, I'm selling these specific devices for my Vita to back up my game so I can take it on the go. So he goes, would you guys want to take a look at them? I don't know if he still sells them, guys. If he does, I'll drop links down below. But this is what it looks like. Right here. This is what they look like. And pretty much, I'm going to use a micro SD card, and I'm going to back up my games on this so I can take it on the go. And I'm also going to use it on my PS TV so I can stream on my Twitch channel. So it's called SD to Vita. That's pretty much what it is. Either way, guys, thank you for the short history lesson, or at least listen to the short history lesson of the PlayStation television, of its rise and fall, at least a quick version of it. Maybe if you guys really want an in-depth version of the PlayStation Vita's rise to fame and fall to glory, I guess, let me know in the comments below. I will go a little bit further. I have a lot in the background for the Vita. Anyway, enough of the crack and lacking. Let's get started. Alright, everybody, so we're back at the Vita. Again, I hope you follow my instructions about the requirements, and we'll get started. The first thing you're going to do is go to the website, which is going to be right here, the web browser. And the next thing you're going to put in is when it comes up. Of course not. Alright, so it actually checks for your website here, but I'm going to show you what to do here. So the website we're going to go to is HTTPS dot. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. It's HTTPS dot henkaku, HENKAKU dot XYZ. Now, I'm going to put it in the description below, so don't worry about it if you didn't get it. If you want to pause the video and do it that way, you can too. Alright, and it's going to take us to this site. The first thing you're going to see is install. Yep, we're going to install that bad boy. If you do this, you're about to void your warranty. No care. Oh, it crashed. No, don't worry about it. You'll be alright. If it shows you the screen, do not worry. It's not the end of the planet. It's supposed to do something similar to this. Mind you, it's installing whatever application it does install, so do not freak out. See? It'll go back to normal. Ah, sorry about that. How it kicks you out. It's not supposed to kick me out. Sorry about that, guys. Take me to your website. There it goes. So, that's what's supposed to happen before. It's supposed to show us that. So, it does. If you go down a little bit further. Wow. Sorry about this, guys. I feel like I'm batting 1,000 today. That's what happens when you do this too many times. We're going to restart our Vita. Alright guys, after the constant rebooting from the browser, I closed off the Vita TV and I restarted it and it finally installed. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen next. After it installs and goes through the install menu, you're going to go down. The first thing you're going to see that's different is molecular shell. That's pretty much what we need to get the Vita to go through, right? So we're going to start molecular shell and it's going to bring us to a menu. It's just telling you right now to enable unrestricted file access. Pretty much it says be careful, you are using Vita. You're pretty much hacked, but you're also in a particular part of your Vita you're not supposed to be. That's pretty much what it says. And you're going to bring up this screen. Now this is hacked, right? So the first thing I'm going to hit is start menu. And I'm going to go to the applications menu in Henkaku. Sorry about that. I really am not that good at this. So I hit the settings. You can enable spoofing. The next thing you want to do is enable the most important thing is enable unsafe homebrew, which allows you to put the homebrew into your console. What version is it spoofed to? 3.65. So it's going to automatically spoof us in case you want to go on to the store, which you shouldn't have to, but nevertheless, it's there. So it tells you what you need to do. Content downloader. You can actually download different content that's located in your Vita. You can unlink your memory card, and what that will enable you to do is to use your memory card on different consoles. So you don't have to link it to this one. So if I save a file on this, I can bring it over to another console and use it on that console. Let me see what else. What else I can show you. And you can reboot the device, but either way, you already know what the deal is. So we're going back. Now, the next thing is, if I was to shut my Vita off and turn it back on, I would have to redo everything again with the molecular shell. I really, really don't want to do that. So there is something what we need to do. The first thing we're going to do is hit select. And right now I'm on a FTP server mode. So pretty much I made my Vita TV into an FTP server. And we're going to add a file to this server, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take down this 192 area code, and then we're going to go to the computer. Alright guys, so we're back. Alright, so now that I'm at my computer, I downloaded FileZilla, and of course I'll have that link as well below. Put in my code 192.168.1.4 and put the port 1337. It'll automatically put anonymous, which is fine. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go into your, it's going to load up like this. It's going to show you all your Vita files. All my files are here, and all my files are here. So, what is next? Good question. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the UX0. That's what this is, UX0. And you're going to go right hand click and you're going to create a directory. The new directory I'm going to create is VPK. So that's already created, which is perfect. And we're going to go here. This is going to show us our desktop. What we need from our desktop is our Enzo.vpk. I'm going to drop that into here. Now that it's already been done, transferred, everything's good to go, we're going to get back to our Vita so we can activate this file. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we are back. Okay, so now all the files are there. We're just going to hit OK. We can keep it running in the background or we can shut it off. It doesn't matter. I canceled it because we're done. We're going to go all the way to the bottom, and there is our file, VPK. I'm going to select on it, and it's going to say Enzo. We're going to go ahead and highlight that and hit the X button. Oh, sorry. There you go. It says, do you want to install this package? Yes. It's only now it's going to say, okay, now we're installing this package, but the problem is that we don't know if you obtain this from a trusted source because it's going to touch some sensitive files. If you follow my websites that I put linked below, you should have no problem. Do not get this from any other website but what I showed you guys. Hit yes to install, and it's going to go okay. Now the reason why we're installing this so that way every time I reboot my console, it will automatically stay hacked. That's pretty much what we're doing, is we're keeping it hacked. So now that it's all installed, we're going to get out of this menu, and we're going to wow, it doesn't let me go all the way through. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and reboot, because I like to reboot every time. So it's going to reboot for a few moments, and at the bottom of our menu next to our molecular is going to be Enzo, and we're going to run that. You're going to see that in a minute. There it is, Enzo. So we're going to select Enzo, and we're going to start Enzo, start molecular. Don't worry about the error. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. We have to rehack it because now it's not hacked anymore. So we're going to go here, and we're going to say install. It's going to rehack itself, which is fine. Let it do its thing. You're going to see it just call it out. And it's rehacking molecular. Once this is all rehacked again, then we're going to install Enzo, because we got to make sure it's Enzo. There we go. So now that we're rehacked again, you're going to go down, hit Enzo, hit start. So it's pretty much saying this software will make this permanent modification. If anything goes wrong, there is no recovery. So everything can't go wrong. We're fine. We got everything set up, installed correctly. Hit circle. Now it's asking us, do you want to install the hack, uninstall the hack, fix the boot configuration or whatever. Personally, we're just going to install the hack, so we're going to hit cross or X on our remote control. Once it's done installing, it's going to reboot, or you're going to press any key to reboot, and it will no longer show the PlayStation logo, which is perfectly fine. Wait, you'll see, it'll show you some different logo. Well, I guess it skipped the logo. That's fine with me too. We are all set. We are good to go. So that's perfect. I'm going to hit molecular again. Start molecular. And we're done. You see, this is now a permanent hack. We don't have to worry about it. Nothing. Now we are set. The PlayStation Vita is now hacked. You can go down to where the UX0 was and where the VPK is. You can go ahead and delete it. We no longer need that file anymore because it's already installed on our Vita. Now we're good to go. So overall, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my computer now, and we'll go through everything else. I'll tell you about what we're gonna do next in our next episode. So give me a moment. Hey everybody, I hoped that you found the Vita installation less troubling. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. You can shoot me or message me on the bottom below, or I think I'll leave my email so you guys can contact me that way as well. This is part 1 of the series. Part 2 would be with the ST to Vita card. I will show you how to work with that and how to get that done, because that will help you expand memory on your Vita. That's pretty much what it mainly does. It doesn't install games to it. It just expands memory on the Vita, so that way you can use FTP to actually communicate with your console and download your backup games, the ones that you have in your library. If this helps you out, guys, thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that bell so that way it knows when, at least it lets you know when I put out videos, so you guys can check it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time with the Vault. Take care.
ねえ、毎日 YouTube ばっか見てるうちにさ、夏休みって終わっちゃうんだよね。これでいいのかな。一緒に子孫のこと。そんで一族の呪い解くの手伝って。あ、プレイステーションビータ。懲役100万年食らって国家のために働くのもいいし、そうだ、鬼退治にも行きましょう。そして締めはでっかいモンスター狩りに行こう。2人で、みんなで。グループ交際か。
大作名作変化球、この夏も冒険充実。プレイステーションビータ。
終わっちゃうよ夏。